Begin tonight with the growing travel nightmare. More than 2,600 flights canceled today, the most since the wave of cancellations that began just before Christmas. And the numbers are climbing. Already more than 1,000 flights tomorrow have been grounded. A combination of weather and staffing shortages are slamming the airlines on one of their peak travel weekends, leaving thousands of weary travelers with nowhere to go. Airlines are offering incentives to pilots and crews to work extra hours to make up for staffing shortages caused by the pandemic. The weather in the Chicago area isn't helping. Southwest halting all flights out of Midway. The city's airports accounting for nearly half of the grounded flights nationwide. All of this is bad news for the many who are trying to get home. ABC's Rena Roy leads us off from Newark Airport.
Tonight, a perfect storm of extreme weather and COVID-related staffing shortages causing travel chaos coast to coast.
It's been a long, exhausting 24 hours, 12 hours. Yeah. Don't even know because I'm so tired. Yeah, we've slept on benches. We've slept on what we could find.
For the 7th day in a row, more than 1,000 cancellations. Over 2,600 flights grounded today alone, the most yet this holiday season. Nearly half of those in Chicago, which is seeing the most cancellations in the world.
There is no space to spend the time and something to eat, so it's a long time here.
Southwest halting all flights at Midway Airport this afternoon. A winter storm bringing gusty winds and heavy snow across the central U.S., slamming Colorado, grounding hundreds of flights in Denver.
Just like when we think air travel couldn't get any worse, it gets worse.
All of this during one of the busiest travel periods of the year, with an estimated 6.5 million passengers traveling today through Monday. And the FAA is warning these issues could continue through mid-January as more air traffic controllers and other employees test positive for COVID. United now offering triple pay for pilots who pick up extra shifts. Spirit paying flight attendants double.
And Rena Roy joins us live now from Newark Liberty International Airport tonight, where over 100 flights have been canceled today. Rena, these disruptions are expected to continue?
Terry, that's right. Tomorrow and Monday expected to be the busiest travel days to return home. And we're already seeing more than 1,000 cancellations Sunday alone. Terry?
Hard damn. Rena, thanks very much for that. We begin tonight with the growing travel nightmare. More than 2,600 flights canceled today, the most since the wave of cancellations that began just before Christmas. And the numbers are climbing. Already more than 1,000.
This holiday, Verizon has the deal that gets better and better and better.
Get iPhone 13 Pro on us when you trade in your older damaged phone.
Better?
Better.
Hey. And up to $1,000 when you switch. Because everyone deserves better.
Next tonight, Americans are feeling the pinch of rapidly rising prices at the supermarket. The spike is being caused by a combination of factors, but when will it end? Here's ABC's business and economics correspondent, Deirdre Bolton.
Tonight, grocery shoppers confronting inflation numbers that haven't been seen in years. The price of milk, 4.6% higher than a year ago. Bread, up 4%. Poultry, fish, and eggs, 13% higher. As consumers deal with the shock.
When I went into the store yesterday, normally like a pound of ground chicken is usually about $3.99. Yesterday, it was $7.99.
Even higher prices coming right away. According to the Wall Street Journal, beginning this month, companies like General Mills and Kraft Heinz planning more price increases to wholesalers on everything from mustard to cereal to Jell-O, as they pass along their own perfect storm of rising costs, like higher transportation expenses because of rising oil prices, higher prices for animal fees, payroll costs pushed up because labor is short, and the havoc the pandemic has brought to the grocery supply chain.
You can't really wave a magic wand and just sort of fix the supply chain problem.
I'll make sure my son eats, and I'll just have to reduce what I eat.
Many economists see prices climbing for many goods in the next 6 months by as much as 10 to 20%. There is hope of prices leveling off once the latest variant is behind us. Terry?
And we move to Colorado, and the desperate search there for at least 3 people missing after one of the most destructive wildfires in the state's history. A blanket of snow is now covering the area where nearly 1,000 homes were destroyed, and President Biden has approved a federal disaster declaration, freeing up funds for those affected. Here's ABC's Zoreen Shah.
Tonight, Colorado officials urgently searching for 3 people missing after the 6,000-acre Marshall Fire tore through Boulder County, torching an estimated 1,000 homes.
The debris is hot, it's all fallen in, and it's now covered with 8 inches of snow. So search and recovery efforts are hampered substantially.
In the aftermath, families taking account of what remains.
Everything looks like it could be out of a movie, and who would have ever thought that this fire would have happened in Louisville?
State officials say they've never seen an inferno so destructive rip through suburban neighborhoods. Today, a Colorado snowfall arriving, wrapping entire scorched neighborhoods in white. Debris still smoldering underneath, raising the question, what if it had come sooner?
24 hours earlier would have been such a blessing.
I think right now it's pretty surreal. I mean, not doing well. My dad used to just walk across the street to the golf course. He'd play every morning. They made this like a life, and it's just gone.
Amid the ash, a bright spot. Neighbors and friends ready with a helping hand.
One thing about Colorado is we do stick together during hard times, and this is one of those times.
And Terry, President Biden approving a disaster declaration to make federal funds available. As for how this fire started, right now officials don't have a credible cause. Terry?
Next to the daring high-wire rescue outside Albuquerque, New Mexico, amid icy conditions. Nearly 24 people stranded overnight in a tram at Sandia Peak. Rescuers reaching all of them late today, and a winter storm impacting millions across the country tonight. A state of emergency declared in Kentucky. Tornado watches in effect across several states as the system sweeps east. ABC's Elwin Lopez is in Atlanta.
Tonight, a dramatic high-wire rescue in Albuquerque, New Mexico. All 21 people pulled to safety after being stuck in a cart on a tramway for more than 14 hours.
It was taking roughly about 5 to 15 minutes for every 2 people to get rescued off, and that includes the helicopter flight.
This as a massive New Year's storm marches east, putting more than 80 million people across the country on alert for heavy snow, torrential flooding, and a potential for tornadoes. That looming threat taking aim at some of the same areas already decimated by twisters just 3 weeks ago. In south central Kentucky, life-threatening flash flooding taking over streets, crews and rafts pulling people to safety. The governor there now declaring a state of emergency. And in Morrison, Colorado, snow-covered roads sparking cars to slip and slide across this interstate, stranding dozens of drivers. Tonight, several states from Louisiana to Kentucky now at risk for tornadoes.
And Terry, that round of storms could continue into the overnight hours, making it even more dangerous. Terry.
Elwin, thanks. Rescue outside Albuquerque, New Mexico, amid icy conditions. Nearly 24 people stranded overnight in a tram at